Yeah, I know. I know. Good morning, gang. Welcome on in. I was surprised. Probably more surprised than you, but yeah, I was surprised. You know, didn't expect it. And then he was early even. I had my meeting appointment at 40 and he took me in at 37. That's crazy. That's crazy. I I'm surprised. However, I have some sad news. Apparently, streamer bots decided to disappear from my computer. So, yeah, that makes no sense. I don't understand. It wasn't supposed to happen, but yet it happened. So, yeah, uh, yeah. No, I don't trust them either. But like, eh, we never know. Wait, where could this thing be? That's my question because that's annoying. I don't understand it if it went into lost and found or it went somewhere else. It doesn't seem to be. And then we had the update last Monday for StreamerBot specifically. The thing is, I don't know exactly where, which, what specifics it went to. So that, yeah, I, 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 I don't know. I did the update. It's usually in my dock on the PC, and it's supposed to be at the bottom, but it's not there. It just, yeah, it just doesn't show up. And I'm searching for it, but I can't find anything. Which is the thing that is kind of, I would say, kind of sad because, you know, I can only have one thing that is called Streamerbot Backup, which is my backups, which makes sense, but that's a backup from 2022, so that's not running on Windows 11. That is not a thing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, as always, we're calling. I hope you're good. I hope your day was good. I hope everything is fine. We have some news, you know, off news. It's not. I really don't get it. It's not in program files. It's not in downloads. It's just I don't know. I'm really, yeah. I just don't know. Is it right here and I just made a mistake? No. Good on both sides. Lock him. Fine. Walk on in. No, I have. I mean, I not there. God damn. I don't know. I don't know. I I'm sad about it. But yeah, I'm feeling okay. Vince, welcome in. Welcome back. How are you? Okay, same question. How are you? How's the day going? It just makes no sense. Makes no sense. Not in program files. It's not in my stuff, I think. Also, I don't like Windows, so that doesn't help at all. Um, what do you mean you need to go run? No, you don't need to go run. That, no, no, just go walk. Um, that's good news. Yeah. That is indeed a good news. Finding 50 bucks on the floor is a pretty impressive thing. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Are you there? No, you're not there. I don't get it. Um, you still can't see mine, Cybersect? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Well, I guess today is a day without Dreamabot, which is really sad. But yeah, easy. Hi, I got in. I'm so sad. Why is it broken? Why is it so broken? Oh, anyways. uh, uh, no, but I fine if you want to believe that, Cat. Do believe that. Yes, yes, it's fine. You were close. You were close. Um, yeah, Cybersect. I don't know. I mean, if you can't hear me and if you can't see me, that's not gonna help you in any way, shape, or form. But you should be able to see the stream. That makes no sense. It's working on my old ass Android. It's working on my phone. It's working on my, I mean, two phones. It's working on my computer and it's working on my PC. So it's working everywhere. It breaks at times, and I do agree with that. But it lately it hasn't. But for you and for someone else in Discord, Techie, we talked about it last time. It kind of breaks. So, eh, it happens. It happens, but I'm sorry about it. I can see the stream is kind of crashing. Let's be honest with that. Like I'm turning into a slideshow at times, and things are not working as they're supposed to work. So that's kind of sad. But I can't do much about it. I can't do much about it. So we have some news, not news. Heart rate wise, Cat, you can take a bike instead of running. Running is bad for your knees. So I would rather you do something on a bike rather than something on running, because 99% of people don't know how to run, me included. And we usually just break our knees rather than doing anything positive. So yeah, take a fucking bike, elliptical, whatever they have, but don't run. Like, yeah. Um, I don't think so. The thing with running, we're gonna go on that frame. That happens. The thing with running is that it's good for you, but it's bad for your knees. It's bad for your knees because you don't know how to place your feet when you are running, and that's a generalization statement, right? It's not like you don't know how to walk, but most people don't know how to walk, and therefore, when you are running, you are hitting at a very specific angle, which is supposed to be good for your legs, and 90% of people don't know how to do that and do it as slightly almost there but not there. And yeah, um, that's uh, that's what usually happens. So yeah, it's really not good. Just take a bike. Just isolate. Kind of better at times. It helps, sometimes. Hey, it's a thing. Anyways. Yeah, walking backward is much better for your knees than anything else. But if it's, I mean, again, if it is like for your heart rate, bike better, um, faster. Like you get the heart rate higher faster than if you run, because you can just focus on the pace rather than having to focus on the entirety of how to fucking run. So yeah, that's the thing. But we have news. We have some news. These are half news. I got surprised because I could extract the bottle here. It's white, and it it's white. So it's white on top of a white background when the system takes it on and says, "Oh, I'm going to extract something." So for reference, because I kind of need to um, check. Okay, let me just Yeah, that's the original image that I had, basically, that I used for this thing. So system was good enough to discern the pixel differences in between everything. And that to me is impressive. Um, I'm I'm impressed by that. So yeah. So we have this news, which is the first news. This thing works as long as you take your time when you are adding a perfume, and the system has the time to fetch the image and get the right image. If you go too fast, you get something that is absolutely ugly, and I don't want to do that again. So that's annoying. But this works. If you look closely, you will see that there is small particles in the background. So very, very small, just small dots appearing here and there, just floating here and there. This or these are going to be linked to the first notes of the perfume. So for me right here, it is the white sage that is floating around in white. If we go into a perfume that is not white sage as a base, as in this one, it's rose or it's pink pepper. These particles are now pink. So you might not be able to see them much because they don't go up much. Stony, hi, welcome in. Welcome back. But they are here. I can see them on my phone. But yeah, they take a lot of time to show up, and specifically because that background is already kind of pink, it's hard to see the pink. But you can see them right about here. There is like some very very faint thing. So that's new. That's pretty cool. But the most important thing for me has been the underneath section. We talked about it last time, where basically the section I didn't really have anything that was in there. And so now in the edits, because we can now edit stuff, I can change the data that I have for showcasing things. I forgot to do that. That makes sense. Um, and then I will have that data displayed properly, properly in the view. So everything that is in there, change all of the data. So send quality, longevity, sillage, very French. Yeah, hi, what morning? The value for the money, this one is fine. The bottle design is okay. And then I have skin chemistry. I also have the thing that I can say, Chris, welcome on in. Spring, summer, maybe it's good for fall, but not good for winter. Then I use that mostly for dates and evening, intimate, and special occasions. That makes sense. Other thing that I could list out and, like whatever. If I'm saving this now, I have a better overall view underneath. It's still bad. I don't like the backgrounds. I don't like the overlay with the amount of colors that we have. What? It's better. We have a lot more information that are displayed, and I'm starting to work on these cards, like this one specifically for the occasion. Do you when do you do things? When do you have things? And so, but that's a start. That's a start. Um, other than that, we good. Other than that, we kind of good. I did something for the um, where the fuck is this? For the experience, right about yes. That card specifically, and I will answer the question in a second. I have made it so that it takes or it phrases things in a way that makes sense. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I go into the what you liked section, um, let's say I like the uh, initial wave of scent, whatever, and then I disliked uh, the bottle design, which makes no sense, but whatever, is lame. That makes sense. And then it reminded me of a bouquet of flowers. um, right? I'm doing that with like text. If I do that with text, my goal is to get this output, which right now you won't be able to read because it's, it makes no sense. put this output in a way that is as if it was a single sentence. So it basically always starts with "I liked," and then it takes the fucking thing that the user has said, and then it does a connector or a transition with the I didn't like, or however I didn't like, or other things like different connectors options. And then at the end, I have a connector after the period at the end that says, well, it reminded me of something, and the something in question is the thing that I wrote. So that's what I did today. It's working. We have some capitalization option or issues here and there, but other than that, it's pretty fine. I think I should do that instead so that you can kind of zoom in, or I can kind of zoom in and show you what I'm talking about. Uh, so basically, having each of the thing that I have wrote by hand uh, in bolder than the regular text, that you know what you wrote, and then once you've done that once, you will know how the sentence are kind of structured, and it should make more sense in the end. But yeah, that's the thing. Um, this one though is debatable. Um, just debatable. I think it's fine, but I hate it. Yeah, I hate it. There is too much colors, but also for right now in terms of testing, making sure that I understand what section is what is which and which one I'm really editing at the time that I'm editing something. That makes so much more sense, and that helps a lot. But it is it lacks everything right now. It's not even functional to me. Like this is accessible. Yeah, we'll ship that for sure. Uh, nope. Huh. But you know, how is me? Me is okay. I just went to the doctor, the French doctor, which was early, which that is crazy. Um, had the appointment at 40, and he took me in at 37. Impressed, impressed. And basically because I'm a proactive bitch, he had nothing to say because everything that I did is basically what he would have recommended me to do. And I've done it already. So, like, I'm faster than the doctors. That pissed me off because it shouldn't be the case. I I should, the doctors should be useful in a way, but like I was more proactive than anything, and therefore I got it. I got my cardiologist appointment, as I said, on Saturday, and yeah, uh, uh, now I have an appointment tomorrow night, which makes absolutely no sense. But I have a scanner to check my uh, calcium deposits in my arteries. Basically, what it is when, and that's kind of it makes sense. But when you have uh, blood pressure that is higher than usual for a certain period of time, usually it's like counted in years. For me, it's not exactly years, but it kind of counts as years. Um, your there is potential where your arteries are getting small scabs inside, and the body, instead of just healing them properly, it heals them with calcium or calcium flakes that goes on top to just keep them for a bit and then be good. If it's a soft calcium, it's dangerous. If it's a hard calcium, it's fine. The thing is, because it's just started for me, it's probably going to be soft calcium if that's a thing, and if I have some. And based on that, we'll define if I'm going to die next month or if it's going to be further down the road in terms of 30 years because, it's fine. So, yeah, that's tomorrow's appointment. Ew, gonna be fine. The reason for why the soft one is not a good thing is because it's soft. If the blood pressure lowers, that is what the medicine is doing. Um, and then for some reason my blood pressure goes back up, which happens when I'm working, or happens when I'm streaming, or happens when I'm work or doing other things. It could like basically dislodge that calcium, the soft calcium, uh, and then just clog some of my arteries and
Chris
just die.
Gerber just gifted 1 subs.
Larkin, you got a sub. Thanks a lot for the gifted sub, Chris. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's we'll see. It could happen. Could happen. But at least I will be scanned tomorrow night specifically, which makes no sense that my appointment is at 7 in the afternoon. Like, if I was a doctor, I wouldn't want to be scanning people at 7, but I mean, I get it. You need to scan people anyways. So, yeah. But yeah, it is very calm and relaxing for me. The girl at the bakery also kind of was shook at the fact that I just don't really give a shit, and you know, it's just it happens. What do you want me to do? I can't do anything about it. It's just we'll see. The only thing that I know is like I probably need, and I don't think I can do that, but I probably need to get into cardio activities um, at a slow pace, and I kind of never do that. So yeah, I don't, I don't know, I don't. We'll see. Also, that streamerbot thing is bothering me so much. My brain is just in there. I just don't know where the fuck it went. It was in the dock, and now it's not in the dock. That makes no sense. Anyways, have a good walk. Walk is good. Walk is better than running. But still, same issues. Most people don't know how to walk. The good thing though is that now I can't walk as fast as we usually walk because I just need to slow down on everything. So yeah, um, yeah. The thing is, I think I shared that. I forgot if. Let me see if I have it. I know I have it somewhere. I don't think I will be able to find it. No, I can't find it here. I can't. I need to find it through this. 1 second. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Um, the the thing that's fun for me, also, it is a for me thing. You know, that's it doesn't make any sense for you as someone that is external. I can't find this fucking thing. Ah. Sorry. Yeah, that. So, uh, let's see if I can do that through this rather than that. That's a while ago. That's a picture I sent to Ken. This is like I would say 2 months ago or a month and a half ago. Um, and that that spike right here at like 140 something. was a very, very intense activity of eating a burger and some fries. Yep, that's what happened. I apparently ate a burger and just my heart rate went to like 140 by default. Like just, oh yeah, you have a burger, cool. And then digestion and shit. But like that's the type of activity I have on a regular basis. So uh yeah, I need a I need something slow, like not going into biking again. I need to go back to walking, but I hate walking on treadmills. It makes no sense to me. And right now, this week, I'm taking the week off the gym just to, have this work. The fact that I'm streaming is a very bad idea, but I feel kind of relaxed most of the time when I'm here, and it's okay. It depends who is in the chat. Obviously, Hugo, hi, welcome on in. How are you? How's everything? So that's the thing. Um, but yeah, no, I need to go back to walks, and that's something that I was doing when I was in Japan because I had the not I had the time, I had the time now, but like I took the time to go out and walk all the time, which was really good. So yeah, and Stony, you're right. The that needs to be changed. Needs a new spot. Needs a new spot. Needs to be higher. Do that. Let me do that for a second. Ah, shit. It's supposed to be right here, basically. That's the landing zone for me. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Um, I am AI generated. Yes, I'm sounding so robotic because I have a fan that is going from behind the mic to me because it's hot, and I have the AC running at the same time. So all the things are currently full power, attempting to just noise canceling everything. It's not the best. I mean, it's fine, but yeah, I guess if I do that and that, I should sound less robotic, just a tad. Um, but you might hear the AC if you pay attention. So, yeah. Have a good drive. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. I mean, I'm saying that's as if you can see my screen. No, that's the thing that I have. Like, I have the Elgato nose removal that is supposed to happen, but also the voice focus is what I usually, that kind of works. Um, but yeah, the noise removal is doing a lot, but it also makes my voice kind of robotic. So I get it. I get it. It depends on the day. I don't think you're gonna make it. I was right. So yeah, we have some things. Some things. I I didn't have the time to do much. Uh, to be honest, I to like much and be much on the internet for the past 2 days. Some of these have been really, really small. We were here when we stopped. And so we have this that we liked on the stream on Monday. and this as well. So technically, the only thing that we have is this, which is really nice to see. This is an illustration made in Figma with the new brush. So that's a nice idea. However, you can see how shitty their brushes are, which is really good to see. Um, but the output is really nice, and I think that the person that has created this is really good. So, why not? And then this happened today, like an hour ago, just before I started the stream. T Costa is one of the people that has really good design in a sense, but also really good products and things. And Faye, one of his products, is now bought back by Wealth Simple, which means that this is some sort of the dream of the solo dev in any way, shape, or form to just be like bought back by a company that is way bigger because they see your potential, and then you have money for the rest of your life and you're good with it. So knowing Faye and what they do, um, it's a very, very interesting thing. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see another designer getting like a huge win. This one was cute. This goes back to what we talked about 3 weeks ago. Yes, with the content transition text that is the automatic things for iOS, which is really cool. And then lastly, we had this, which is basically the same thing as earlier, but with the Vercel triangle. That's about it. Other than that, Nutty is having more drama than usual, which is impressive. Yeah. But apparently, that person decided that 3 hours after the the streamable pack that Nutty has on his website, um, he could just take it and redistribute it for free. So that that is crazy. Um, but it happens, and that's all I saw. I saw nothing else, to be honest. Um, so yeah, that's a very, very cute thing, to be honest. I do like it. I don't like their logo. We talked about it before. The reason why I don't like it is because this is the Whoop logo just on the side, and there is like plenty of logos that are exactly the same. And yeah, eh, eh, one of the things that is really it, God damn it, this thing makes no sense. Yeah, now I'm fine. Cool. But yeah, so he's done like a lot of things. He has a very good design sense as well, and he's making a lot of good design choices in most of the tools that he's playing with. He kind of helped me at some point indirectly. We kind of talked about it, but um, one of my most viewed tweet is because he made something and I kind of sat on it and then came back. It happens. But yeah, we have like really no news, which is kind of impressive. The only thing that I can say is that I've been working on the database for this thing, and I basically went from 84,000 entries of perfumes for the database to 40,000, roughly 41,000. Um, because there are like so many of these entries that just didn't have notes or humors or brands or other things that needed to happen. So now I have kind of cleaned up everything, and I'm working on these cards, which are really good for me. They are not the best, but I think they are the best way I could do that. The main reason is that the page in which these cards are used doesn't load in the preview, so I can't really go in and have a go at the design and change some things and make sure that things are good and organized. It just, you know, it's a bit of an annoyance. It is a bit of an annoyance, but I should just do that. I remember that this is a thing. And something that I found as well is that when I have Xcode, cursor, and YouTube running, my cursor, my pointer, is just extremely slow, and can't really do anything, which is kind of wild to me. I don't know. I did. It was shit, so I stopped. I'm basically used to the speed of some of these things to just, you know, do the edit automatically, and Grok is mostly contemplating first before doing things, which is fine, but it wasn't that good. I know that Chris, number two, is or used to use Grok a lot, way more than the rest. So I do that at some point. But yeah, I don't really know. Today has been really on these and making sure that I have like the correct data. So right now, again, we are that's a small amount of lines. That's a lot. That is that's so much. The fact that it's JSON is the reason for this because we need to have the repetition of the headers and the properties on any single thing. But goddamn, it's a bit of a mess. But hey, it works now. That's the main point. I spent last night, yeah, basically last night, doing this. I zoomed in on my screen the same way that I do that all the time, to basically showcase this thing. That's pretty much the face that I had at that time. And the stream is gonna die again because I'm trying to watch a fucking video. But I basically spent the whole night with this section where I had like 1,000, 2,000 brands that basically have similarities in their names. So a lot of them were just like perfumes because, you know, just perfume makes sense. And then just go through and making sure that I'm keeping the correct one, I'm disabling the other ones and so on, until I found something that just made sense because they are like so close together, but they are not the same. Like they are two different brands. And it's just same amount of letters. Like specifically on these ones, you have like 3 letters and then fragrances and 3 letters and fragrances. And so it's for the system, the the percentage of similarity is too high to not check, but it just makes no sense. So I had to change the system again. But yeah, I did that all evening until I reached something like this one, which is really similar but not the same. And the next one is the same, finally, where basically, and now you can't really see shit, but it's just a capitalization section in a perfume addition. So the one that is not like perfume is the one that I saved because it's capitalized and good and so on. So that's the whole thing. That's my face, really big. Uh, but yeah, that's the whole system. It's uh, it's a mess. The whole database is pissing me off again, and it's yeah. I don't want to redo it again. I'm gonna not redo it again. That's for sure. But God damn, sometimes I wish I had the skills, but I don't. Nonetheless, also that really no. Um, Other than that, we had some ass that I can't show you for many reasons. But we had a lot of really good designs pop in the on threads, like this one, for example, which is a very nice animation for signature. I don't like the wobbly thing at the end. I think it's a bit too much, but I understand why it's there. It's a really neat thing. This one was really cute as well for you know a bank. The thing that I have, which is really interesting, and it's a very me thing, you are presenting the cards as a, I don't know how to say that in English, to be honest. I think we call that a card castle in French. The thing with a card castle is that everything is holding by the sheer precision of the user that built it, and a gust of wind will bring it down. And well, I think it's House of Cards. I think that's the name of things. Um, that means that the bank itself is just holding nothing to me. Like subconsciously, I would never put my money on that bank because I'm like, the reference they use is the most unstable thing. So subconsciously, I don't trust them. That's really sad. That is really sad. It shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case. This person has been on my feed a lot. The Korean, so I can't read shit. You know. But they've been doing like a lot of things with comparison and different like state of their own design or other designs, and some of them are really good. Some of them are debatable. This one is really good. I do like this a lot, and yeah, good, good inspiration, good thing. It has um one of the thing that I am about to call a trend, and we don't have it in Twitter. Like that's not a thing. But we do have it on other Asian markets, which is these glow. When you look at how things glow around the selection, around the charts and the things, they don't really glow. I mean, they do glow on light mode, but their glow are more visible in non-light mode. And this seems to be something that is coming in extremely heavily on the Asian market, where they are adding a lot of glowing thing, even though extremely subtle, just to bring some mood or ambiance in the background of their creation, which is interesting. And to me, it is a pattern. It is a pattern that is extremely uh, Asian. And if I go into here, if it works, apparently it doesn't. There is, I know I liked it. I don't know if it's like right in front. I don't think it is. But, like, there is basically plenty of things. Like, there is this thing that popped in, which is a Japanese learning app, obviously. Um, and they have these glows around the buttons, around the cards, around everything in basically the same way. And it's really visible in dark mode. And this one is really interesting to me because it's a copy of my app, which is nice. Not exactly a copy in terms of um, the design, but it's a copy of the content. They have created basically dictionaries, and you can navigate through dictionaries, and then you have your uh, cards, which is a mix of what I've done and Anki. I hate Hanky, so that's good because that means that this one is also gonna not work for the people that don't like it. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. But yeah, that's a thing that I've been seeing from Asian related thing on top of other ass that I have in here. But there is a lot of glowing elements in the design that they are doing that is bringing interest more than other things. So that's I would say pattern. I don't know if it's a pattern, but I would say pattern-ish for most of the things lately that have been created, Asian related. You know, more glows, small things make sense. So that's a thing. That is a pattern for me. This. Um, but yeah, other than that, not much to be honest. We have the announcement of the Apple event that is on the 9th. So that's going to happen. Uh, that is going to happen in 2 weeks on Tuesday, which is like not a stream day. So that's good. I don't know exactly when that happened. I think it's like 10 a.m., which is basically stream time. But yeah, Apple event. Expensive stuff. Always a good thing to watch, at least for me. This is the thing that I was talking about last time, where I don't know how to do that. I'm struggling with it. Um, not in Figma again. Like, this is something that I can do in Figma with no issues because that's extremely easy, and it's just 4 elements that are like hidden behind the content. But for some reason, this thing specifically, of the way that it's done and the way that it's implemented in the app, which is like the native way that iOS is doing things, is impressive and interesting. So yeah, I wish I could understand, not necessarily just widgets, but like transition on Swift UI, because goddamn, that makes no sense otherwise. Which is the same thing, that account has a lot of really good inspiration for UI and following and so on. So yeah, Estonia, I had a question for you. You believe that? Have you worked on things on No Mercy lately that we could take a look at? Um, other than the carousel that you sent me, that is really good, because it is really good. It's really good. Or have you not? Oh god, they mostly back in. Well, we are in the same spot. That's kind of sad. If I were to just, you know, I feel like it's a waste of time. That's so weird. The way that my brain has been rewired is crazy. I was about to say I could just do some of the design that I had in mind in Figma directly, but like I'm really against it. It makes absolutely no sense to me to waste time on this. Um, but god dang it. Eh, can't really do that. That's for sure. That's my perfume bottle. Let's do that. But the idea that I have for now is I have the icon that is around here. It's supposed to be like um, there, and the badge on the other side. Could be like this. That's the current state, I would say. Not exactly, but it's kind of where we are. And then for the other thing, we have the title that is somehow bigger, and we want the underlying text, which is brand, to be somewhat lighter. Like that's the idea. The thing that I want to have is basically expand this to go from this to that being out of the way, that being roughly that smaller, a bit here, and this being like roughly there, I would say. I want the perfume bottle to go on the other side, or just slide up. And then the rest of the content, the thing that I need to have underneath, needs to be like right there. God damn it, that's the wrong thing. Right there. With a card, let's do that at like 12. And so this card here needs to be available, or at least from my point of view, it needs to be available on the original in order to have my transition work. But the more I think about it in terms of Figma, which is what I'm doing right now, the less potential it becomes. Because from here, if I get that on click, let's do just a simple smart animate transition with a 420 transition, so that makes sense. And then from there, we go back to here, same on click. We will end up with a card that makes almost no sense. Like that's a good enough transition, but when you look at where I have things in the app itself, as in about here, right? My goal is to get the card that is in the center of the app right now to do that transition. So having the expansion of the card and go into where it needs to be. So right now, for some reason, I can't figure it out. I've been trying to do that transition, even though not exactly the same transition, but kind of the same transition. Bigger text and so on, going into a smaller version of it. But it just it doesn't comply. And I don't know why. Yeah, that's yeah. That's kind of wild to me. There is like so much things that I just don't know how to do. It makes sense. I don't know shit, but you know, did that play better? Yes, probably. That will probably play better. Yeah, it seems so simple. That's the thing that pisses me off. Because when you look at the documentation about the matched geometry transition, right? It's supposed to be, as I explained last time, it's supposed to be Paragon right now, which is my title in namespace, brand in same namespace. So basically, the card itself is in a namespace that is card details. And then the content is in the same namespace coming in, so that Swift can understand and do the transition that you want it to do, which is like basically just this. But for some reason, um, I want I want to see. But for some reason, every time I'm trying to implement things, it just doesn't make any sense. So I thought about having the entire team, and that is a very bad idea, of the card itself containing the details, basically having everything that is here in state number one or state number two. So that this is sliding from the bottom, this is sliding up because it's the same thing. Like all of these three elements are the only thing that I need to save. These two are going to go away. These two are going to stay in place, and that is going to stay here. The bottom thing for the tap to view details is probably going to go away as well. So at the end of the day, I'm not getting like much thing to do. There is just like four elements that needs to be specified. But when you think of it, the way that I thought of it in Figma, for example, here, it doesn't make sense for how Swift UI work, because that basically means that I have one component that will have everything. It would have this view with the details, with the system of the timeline, with the, the data that is proper to the user and so on. That is way too much for one single view. So that's the issue right now. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of unsure. And going back here, I kind of need the same thing because this is the same transition in a way. I would need the same transition. Um, Also, by the way, since I changed the URLs, this one is so good. Like the picture is so nice. It's a bit cropped weird, but that's fine. But yeah, like that's the I don't get it. I don't get it. So that transition we were on a second ago, um, from here, it's the same thing. It's basically match geometry in a namespace, and that's it. And so I I should. Like the whole system of math geometry is supposed to just be that simple and you know and work, but no. Specifically because this one is the glass fake transition, which is not exactly what we want. Oh, golly. Oh, hi. My internet is telling me that I shouldn't be streaming. That's what it is. Yeah, that makes no sense. Yeah. Yes and no, but probably, and I don't know about it. Let's be honest. As far as I understand it, in UI kit, yes. The basic UI kit, basic native UI kit version of the code, you have proper positioning and proper transition definition. In Swift UI, it's basically the same thing as Figma auto layout. Not auto layout, but like Smart Animate, where if an element has the same name as an element on another page, it will interpolate something to guess a transition. And it's the exact same thing as my transition between views, because my camera is named camera and my screen is named screen, and the screen is currently right here, but you can't see it. It has, during the transition, the proper resizing, the proper thing happening, because that's the end goal. The Swift UI has that by default, kinda, to make that transition happen. But it's not as obvious to me as it is in Figma. That makes any sense. Why is me dying right now? No sense. Makes no sense. But yeah, I don't know. Also, that card needs to expand. That's something that I didn't do. But it's fine. Doesn't matter. Apply again. Here you go. What happened? No, I have a heart condition since last Thursday, so I did no pull-ups. I am currently dying, so uh, I'm attempting to, not not much pull-upping right now, kind of being a bit more on the safer side than I would usually be. For reasons. Not many reasons, but four reasons. No, it's the same thing. I'm trying to get like the heart rate not too high and the blood pressure not too high. I wish I could have kind of talked about it before. I mean before, not really, but kind of. Yeah, damn it. Um They have this. I kind of wish I had this, um, just because it makes sense, and it's a wrist, not wristband, but an armband that just can, uh, track and things, so that I would have that handy. The main reason why I want this, first of all, is tech, so obviously I'm interested. But most importantly, this is the reason why I kind of want it, because the overall system is linked to my phone, and therefore, instead of having to write on paper my metrics, I would have it on my phone at all times. So if I'm making like a measurement, it's recorded, it's on my phone, it's tracked. My doctor can have access to it if they want to. That's easier. The one that I have, because I have one right there on my bed. It's there. It is there. Can't see it because I was in front of the camera, but yeah, I do have one already. Um, but yeah, that's the only reason why I'm interested in these ones. That one and they have the core, which is like fine. It has more stuff. It's more expensive, and it looks more interesting. And I like one of the design of their charts as the designer that I am. But one of the good thing that I like about WeThings is because it is built with the hospitals, the French hospitals, and the hospitals that are related to where they are, so that you can check the that's me. Yeah. Yeah, the Fitbit doesn't give you the blood pressure. The Fitbit will give you the heart rate, which is I already have my heart rate on my ring, and it's pretty trustable. And I also have my heart rate on my watch, but the blood pressure is not there, and so that would be a useful thing to have. Um, you know, because eh, it's interesting. Yeah, to me, it's interesting. Um, and yeah, and I don't know if I need the hidden elements things, or no, let me rephrase that. I don't need the hidden elements things. I can't figure out how to not do the hidden elements things. That's my issue, because it shouldn't be the case. Like I shouldn't have to, and it's just the case. So yeah, it just makes no sense to me. That's um that's the detail page. That makes no sense either. Um, but also based on how I've composed the views, um, like the fact that my recommendation cards is an element on its own that is outside of my yeah, I know, outside of my view uh, namespace, and then my today view is where my recommendation cards are. And then from my today view, I'm tapping on the recommendation card that is opening the detail view. And so because of that gymnastic of things that are not supposed to be linked together, but kind of are, but not really, that kind of breaks in a way, or at least it breaks in my head. But yeah, right now that's gonna break. Yay! As always. God damn. I just wish it was working, but no. Yeah. God damn, that's wild. So yeah, that's the thing. The other half fact that I have is because of how the app is structured and because of how many fucking files I have for something that was supposed to be that simple, right? The Yeah, I know. V0, right, from the beginning of the month, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that was anything I needed. But then I had an ID and I said, you know what, that would be better. And since then everything is broken. That's the that's the reality. That is the reality. If I just said, yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough for version one for me. We'd have an app on the App Store right now. God damn. Oh, my dumbass. If only. If only. There's also a thing that makes no sense to me. Um, in everything. In everything, nothing makes sense to me, right? In code, nothing makes sense. I know that this code is really tiny and you can't read it and it's fine. But the regular thing of, and I think I still can't zoom in, right? Oh, I can zoom in today. Cool. The regular thing of the tab view, collection view, discovery view as a property of tab item is different than what is recommended by Apple, having basically your system being tab item that look for the page. So already I'm doing things that are not supposed to happen. I think I have that on, and it's, yeah, right here. Basically, this is the supposed navigation system thing where you have your tab view, that is the enclosure, that's fine, that's what I have. Then I have my tab and the page that needs to be loaded right there. But I have the other way around. So I have my page that needs to be loaded as a tab, which means that when I'm adding like a tab role search, it doesn't work because it doesn't recognize this as a tab bar the same way. So it's just I I don't like it. And I know why. Like the main reason for this is because the LLMs that I'm using here are not up to date in the slightest. Um, I I'm basically trying to make something work for something that they don't know. And when I'm asking for the thing that they don't know with like the reference text or the reference code, it doesn't go through because they don't recognize it as something that can be done. So they try to do something else that they know about because they have the knowledge of it. And it's the new words that we are talking about are not recognized by the system. They are not things that they have been trained on and so on. So that on its own is really bad. But then on top of that, I'm doing things that I'm not supposed to do. And have a good rest of your day. We'll see you later. Easy. Take care of yourself. Yeah, don't worry about it. You say you'll be back or you are back? But you have two messages back to back. It's kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, like that's the thing. It's kind of weird. The Oh, cool. Welcome back. Ah, can this work? Yes. It might be the round, yeah. The round you drop in the center. Yeah. Um, yes. I saw your message, your comment on YouTube. Thank you for that, Chris. I appreciate it. Um, I don't have prompts. I just write. And today I got extremely tired because for some reason the entirety of the chat was not working with what I was asking, and obviously my brain is on so much more stuff that I can't think as well as I do. Like I'm thinking about my heart, I'm thinking about my brain, thinking about the app, I'm thinking about the can right there. Um, that's not gonna work. And so with all of that, all of these things that I have in my current memory right now, I just doesn't work. It's really bad. Um, so yeah, have a good drive. Yeah, I thought you were driving already. Can I do that? So I'm thinking maybe. The current brain's statement is in my resources. I'm going to use the JSON because it's going to be easier for anyone to understand. Understand? I don't know, but potentially understand. The system that I have is basically taking what I call the aura of the perfume. And so the aura of the perfume is based on the notes that are right here, top, middle, and base, because we know like that bergamot is suited for specific seasons, suited for specific type of temperatures, and so on, based on common knowledge about perfumes. I have created something that is called the perfume aura, that is basically a pre-calculation of the appropriateness of certain perfumes in different weather condition, different times of day, uh, and different like culture, environment, and activities. So I have this thing that is pre-calculated, and right now what I'm thinking about is in my similar fragrances thing, instead of having something that is user selected, I could have something that is system selected for the user based on their collection, because everything is based on the user collection. So using the aura to go through which of the perfume in their collection could be marked as similar is an interesting thing. And so if I'm looking here, for example, I know that my Atomic Rose and Arctic Delight might be in the similar scent-ish, because they both have pink pepper, they both have like a base of vanilla, and they have like some fruity-ish notes overall, or flowery notes. But these two could be marked as similar, but then we wouldn't have Paragon as a similar to Atomic Rose, because it's really different in terms of how it's perceived. So that's a thing, but then I don't know if we could automate that in a way that makes sense just yet. So maybe, maybe. But yeah, also, Chris, to answer your question, yes, I do get tired of prompting. asking questions basically. Most of the time I'm getting tired of my lack of understanding, my lack of skills, and my goals that I can't express in a way that the LLM understand. That's when I'm getting tired of it and I'm taking like an hour to rest and scroll TikTok. Other than that, because it's basically text, I hate text in general, but like it's okay. So for example, here, in this file, we know that the similar fragrances need to be tied to the user collection and their aura. So we should probably manage that in the system rather than let user manually select, you know? Um, and so, again, based on how I know things, I don't know much, but based on what I know, here I know for a fact that we need to have the perfume entry as a base because that's necessary. We know that we will have the aura system, so that means that the GRDB model is going to be used for defining what is in that uh, data entry because it's pulling a reference ID that contains the aura, and then because this is going to be displayed in the like since we display this in the detail view of detail rating, my bad. You might need that too. You know, that's basically what I do. Like I just propose things rather than give directives, if that makes any sense. Because it seems to be a better, not a better way, but like it gives me better results, so therefore it is a better way, yes. But it gives me a better result overall to have something that is like suggested rather than do this. Like if you, or at least for me, when I'm saying do this, we need to do exactly this, it doesn't do exactly this unless this is the third time that I'm asking and I'm saying do this. But usually when I know what to do, I'm gonna do it myself. But like here, for example, I don't really know how to get the aura system for the recommendation similarity done properly. So we're going to need to use that based on the Swift data and the user collection that makes sense, and then compare the aura calculation that we have based on user preferences for that fragrance specifically. Will it work? No, probably not. Is it a bad idea? Yeah, probably. Am I still going to try? Yeah. And so for prompting itself, like that's all I can do. I can't really do much more than this. And so if that works, that's good. Right now it's trying to create the recommendation service, which is really bad because we already have this. And therefore here I am this close to just dismiss everything they've done in the perfume detail view because it doesn't make any sense. So you know, like that's the thing that is annoying about all of that, and that's why augment of code seems to be a better option because it has a better context. But for augment code, Finwo, welcome.
Finwo _ rated my stream with 9 viewers.
How are you? How is the stream? Thanks for the raid. I hope you're good. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm AOA. I'm the helping designer. So if you have any design question, as always, feel free to ask. You're in good hands. We are doing a lot of weird things. I'm trying to build something. It doesn't really work, but you know, that's how things happen. Well, come on in. I hope you're good. Stream was good. Good. As always, if you need a raid and run, raid and rest, raid and go take a shit, it happens. Please do. But if you want to raid and stay, that's also highly appreciated. Also highly appreciated. Yeah. Welcome in. Did I press the wrong button again? I did. God damn it. I wish I could. I wish I understood that because uh, yeah, that's all that I see. Chris, again, that's also the thing that pisses me off the most. I'm seeing it doing stuff that I know for a fact I'm gonna have issues. I know for a fact that this is a problem. Like everything that has been done here is a problem. So I am just gonna stop that and basically revert because it makes absolutely no sense to me to just keep that. Like that's bad. That is really bad. So yeah, that's usually what happens when I'm prompting and using these tools, and then I'm just reverting, adding what I know. Like you'll also need the recommendation services that we already have, and the user. God damn it. Uh, with data, but that's the collection. Do I have the collection view? Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. To basically understand. And then I'm just re-prompting, resending the fucking thing to make sure that it works, but it doesn't work. So yeah. Oh god damn, that hurts. Oh, that flaps. So yeah. Yeah. I don't like it. That's the thing. So to really answer your question, because I feel like I haven't answered your question. I don't get tired of prompting. I just don't like to prompt and to ask things this way because it's just further dig myself into a hole that I don't understand. So the deeper we go into creating something that makes sense and potentially creating something that works, when I'm looking at this, the more potential errors appears. And the more errors we have, the more things I have to fix without really knowing how to fix said thing. So right now we only have 2 errors for now, because there is an argument that is missing and an extra argument that was supposed to be there because it's from the previous version. That makes sense. That is probably going to be like defined in this new update. But again, because I don't really understand what is done here, like right now, this is a new file, and knowing how it's working, this new file is probably creating a lot of errors. Just because it's reusing the same fucking names and the same fucking thing, and it just doesn't make any sense. So usually have to just revert, start again, try again, do something else, change small things in the first prompt, text, message, thing and then hope for the best. And sometimes that happens lately. Um, it doesn't work. I'm reverting. It doesn't work. I'm reverting. It doesn't work. I'm reverting. And the only thing that works is just I change to auto or I change models. I change the thing. And for some reason, the model that is picked is more clever and smarter than the original one that I had. And it just does the thing without issues, but sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, like right now it's creating the similarity services, which makes no sense. Um, for that, I guess. Hmm, I guess in the user collection, the user collection match. And that's also a thing that I've read last week, no, 2 weeks ago, where this is something that I say often. I say don't overcomplicate it, and apparently this is bad. This is the opposite of what is supposed to be done, where the this is yeah the opposite of the gentle parenting system, where if I'm saying don't do something, the system is going to do something, so it's going to complicate things. Um, yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. And usually I'm doing this. I'm seeing a new file. I'm going back here to check that the preview is working. If the preview works, that means that most of the things are going to be okay. And then that is going to be updated. Once it's updated, it's saved. I'm seeing that I have an issue, and then I can check what the issue is. If I see that it's editing some things in there that make sense based on the error that I see in Xcode, I can hope that it's going to fix itself. Um, and then I'm just basically doing back and forth all the times to get the content. Um, and maybe that will work. Maybe it won't, because this is coming from the database and the aura itself. So that implies things that they won't be able to get access to in the preview. So that might crash. Again, annoyance that if I knew how to do stuff, is not the case. Again, it would be better. That is where I stand. I need more skills. I don't have more skills. And at this point, I don't even know if it's considered a skill. Um, because yeah. Oh, see what I was saying? God damn. But now, in order for me to check this thing, because it doesn't break in terms of compilation, it breaks in terms of presentation of the preview, because the preview is the most annoying thing, but it's also like right there. In order for me to do that and do that properly, I need to start like a build, and then once it's built and it runs here, I'm gonna see if it does exactly what it was supposed to do. And if it does, I'm gonna save it. If it doesn't, I'm gonna revert again. Or I'm gonna ask for fix. The thing that is gonna be annoying right this instant is the fact that basically checking things is not going to be an option. So the reason why I'm saying this, because that sounds like I'm saying wrong things, which is kind of true, but also not really, but kind of. The content of the app right this instant is extremely limited, and the data that I have isn't enough for like these recommendation thing to do anything positive. Um, like yeah, also this related to or similar to is not visible right now, which means that something is broken. So yeah, it's similar to supposed to be here, but it's not gonna pick up on that. So
Come and find me.
supposed to be around here. Yes, you see that pissed me off. I just revert, just go back and revert and hope for the best. And relaunch it so that I have the correct version on my phone right here. But yeah, that's the system, and that is one of the reason as well why I'm going through the 500 fast request in like a day, because I'm doing something, it's working, or I'm moving to the next step. I'm doing the next step, it's not working, I'm going back up, trying again, going back up. And so the amount of time where I had like 1,000-ish edits on one specific file is greater than zero, which is not good. Which isn't good. But yeah. I don't know if that answers your question. I think it kind of does, but it also doesn't. Um,
Come and find me.
that works. That's fine. Oh, shit. I might need that. Yeah. I'm gonna need a pee. 1 second. whole chat died. I know why. God damn it. Let me just check. Yep, that's the reason. Oh, I have 18 gigs available. That is not good. Not good. It happens. It happens. Probably gonna lose the chat multiple times today. Um, what can I get rid of is the question. Yeah, whatever. This is really bad. I'm deleting files that I shouldn't be deleting, but you know, I need the space right now. That's what's happening. No, but I don't. Since I had the thing, I haven't drank a single one. So technically, I do not. Did no, they know that I did, but they know that I don't. So it makes no sense to just say, well, you know, I still do. No, no, I do not. Damn, that's an old video. God damn. All right. Hope for the best. But you know, they know that I did, and that now I don't, and I'm still planning on doing. um, I the thing that I'm seeing is basically the combination of caffeine and taurine is not good for the blood pressure. The taurine alone or the caffeine alone is fine at certain levels, and the combination of the two is just really bad. So what I need, and we talked about it before, what I want, and if you have the money and you want to make a lot of money, do that. Um, just get yourself bees. You create a brand that does this, that is called No Energy, that has no taurine, no caffeine, nothing. It's just the flavor of. The caffeine and taurine have no flavors. They might add some, it is adding something in terms of the texture, the flavors, and so on, but not that much. And you just create these things, these 500 milliliters, like half a liter cans, with just the flavor and no energy at all, no caffeine, no taurine, nothing, and you will make banks. The thing is, the main reason why I can't do it is because I don't have the funds to do the initial research. But and basically having the inventory somewhere and holding it and so on. Like that's not. I don't have access to white lab yet. I'm lying. I do. I don't have access to a good white lab that does drinks already. If I did, I could. I only have access to white lab that does supplements. That's different. Different things. So if you get one of these, right? Also, I'm seeing that you can't see what I'm seeing. I forgot. That is me. That is me. 1 second. Oh, well, stream might die. I'm gonna tell you that now. Feel like it might happen. Much better. Now you can see what I was talking about. One of these. Yeah, if you just do one of these with without the taurine and the caffeine and the guarana and whatever ginseng extract thing that they do, you make banks for no like in no time. Mainly because um a can of this is, let's say, 150 for the regular user, right? Which means that if this brand is allowing themselves to sell these things for 150 a can, they that again. Ah, I see. God damn it. I saw the slideshow thing. Again, I think the stream is going to be really, really short today for many reasons. For many reasons. That that was a dead stream for a second. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. It's either a me thing or it's a Twitch thing. Based on what we have here, um, it seems that my stream is cursed. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm sad about it. But yeah, I don't know where we cut, where everything kind of broke. But yeah, this is the base thing. If and when you think about the margin, you think about the cost and the initial cost, there is a lot to take into consideration in the beginning. And I would say an initial cost of like 10K ish to 20K is kind of necessary to get the thing started. But past that, um, it should be good. Yeah, like that's if I wasn't that averse to outside investments, uh, yeah, this is an option. This is a business option that I'm giving you for free. To anyone that has the funds that can do it, please do so. Do so. It's good. It's a good idea. It's a good business idea. It is certain to give you like business. It is certain to give you revenue as well. You can undercut the competition because you don't have the energy in there, and it's just a can of soda in a way, but they use the flavors of the energy drink that people love. That's that's the best thing to do. It's the exact same concept as Tom Holland creating a non-alcoholic beer, non-alcoholic beer, right? Because he had an issue with alcoholism and drinking all times, and therefore he still wanted to have a drink with his mates, but without the alcohol thing. So he did what? A non-alcoholic beer, which because that makes sense to him. And right now, for me, it's basically the same thing. It doesn't make any sense to me to continue having like an energy drink thing. And so, if I had like a partnership with C4 or Red Bull or something else, I would just ask them to create a version of it that is just not energized, which is weird. But that's the reason why I'm saying if you have like the no energy section of the drinks, you get a lot of business in a small amount of times. In a very small amount of times. For sure. Let me test something. Quit day, day. Day. Maybe day. Hmm. Not that will change anything, but yeah. Um, yeah, I turn it into a slideshow all the time. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. The fact that OBS had dropped framed earlier, that is really wild because that usually doesn't happen. And going back to the question of last time, I'm currently at 5 kilobit seconds, which is like really low compared to the max 8, 12 thing. So yeah, I don't know. Stream is probably going to be very short today. Very, very short for many reasons. Yeah, that might happen. Other than that, doctors are aware, which was the start of the discussion. And that's a fine enough thing. Fine enough. I don't know if there is like more needs for other things. What I've seen and what I've did when I've done when I've did my research, when I've done my research about like blood pressure and other things, hypertension, it seems that based on me, I should be fine because it's not something that is too old. Like it's probably a 3 to 4 years old thing maximum. Um, like basically before 2021, I wasn't really drinking any energy drinks per se. Um, I I I had Mad Monks, which is like pills with caffeine, but they are not like really uh, doing anything to your blood pressure. I mean, they do caffeine, but that's about it. Um, so basically, almost nothing of the taurine caffeine combo before 2023, I would say. Um, and and even then, I feel like 2024-ish, I mean 2023, when I moved to Japan, is basically when I kind of started to have my Red Bull in the morning because it became a habit and so on. So basically 2 years. That means that it's kind of fine. If I slow down, would be okay. The thing that is sad, I mean sad. Yes, sad. The thing that is sad is I'm looking for something. This is still my entryway. I mean, half of it, but I still have all of that to drink. So, you know, eh, needs to happen. Needs to happen at some point. Needs to happen. I see things that I don't like. The cake thing is not that impactful to the blood pressure. Sugar is more for the artery, cholesterol, and other things, but it's not necessarily impacting the blood pressure. The salt, so mostly like the like weekly fries, is something that is kind of not so good because of the salt. Um, but yeah. Is it a 3D thing, Chris? Like, is it a VR environment? Because if it is a VR environment, I would design in VR. That's the first thing. If it's a gesture based, as in that type of gesture, like the three fingers, um, and so on, I would play with that. If it's webcam based, as in hand capture, and then you you pick things and so on. Um, I designed two separate things. So for me, the peace sign that is recognized by the Apple camera thing, and then does the confettis or the thumbs ups or the heart or whatever, um, that are recognized by Apple. These, in terms of how I would design it, is I would design the effect or the outcome, and then I would design the UX of how it's triggered. So that means that if it's like a peace sign, as you just said, I would define what does the peace sign do, design this, and then what is triggering said peace sign output. So for something that is a media pipe to control like the music visualizer, so I'm guessing you have like faders and things on screen to rotate and so on. We have some of these. We talked about it before. Um, I don't think I shared it though. I don't think I liked any of their stuff. I don't think I've seen any of their stuff in a long time. Let me see if I have something close enough. Could see that, but that's not necessary. I don't. um, did I share that on Discord? No. That's gonna take 6 years for me to go back to that part of Twitter. Yeah, that's not gonna be an option. Let me just check. Um, maybe an inspiration? Maybe? Maybe not. uh, um, what Alex has done maybe could be an option, but not necessarily the thing in question that I'm looking for. Anyways, it's really similar than some of these things. There is this person that we talked about on stream before that is doing some visual capture. I don't know if you remember, where you have like a chessboard and you need to do stuff. It happens. X, welcome on in. Welcome back. How have you been? How is everything? It's been a while. Um, I don't know where the fuck that is. So there is this one, but this one specifically is linked to an Asian girl, I think. Maybe I'm racist. It happens. Uh, I think Asian. I forgot. That is doing something regarding visual morphing of media. So that would be an inspiration. That's the first thing. In order to get references, I would use Leap Motion, um, which is not there. God damn. What am I doing? Like the dang? Uh, some references and some research on this, on how they have done the hand tracking, how they have done the uh, gesture recognition, and so on. This is old tech, and now it is basically embedded into your camera. But yeah, have a job. Excellent. That's good. Congrats. I still don't have one. Um, oh, you have an add-on built on the house. That's really cool, though. That's a good project. I love construction work, so I like that. I like that. But yeah, no, I would get that and do some research on how these have worked. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. It's this where the camera is tracking the fingers, recognizing fingers and movement, and then based on movement, things happen. So that girl that I'm talking about is basically uh, what I have in mind, and I think would be the best option for reference and or for someone to talk to check what they have done, how they have done it, um, and so on. I'm really trying to find it. I wish I had like the project I talked about last time. I don't. Uh, but yeah, AA that is here that we talked about before that you follow, right? Um, that is something, but most of these is basically how, like this one is what you're talking about, as far as I remember or understand it, right? You have a song and your hand movements is defining the volume, the pitch, the bass, something, the drum kick, something else, right? Um, that's something, maybe. If you just want music, like video matching musics, if that's your goal, if yeah, if the goal is to have like video matching music, that's a different type of situation. Um, I'm following everyone already. Uh, God, that's crazy. Sorry, my brain went somewhere. Come back. Let me go back to what I was saying. Oh yeah, then you can't see that. Ass. Yeah, you want backdrop visuals linked to the video itself. Do I have it? Please. I know I liked the video, that's for sure. However, where is it? Where is this? Nah, sorry. Was louder than expected. There is a person on TikTok that I'm following, that I'm not following, that is doing mostly what you're asking for, but not with hand gestures. I think so. That's why I want. Uh, I want to see if it's similar. I don't think so, but maybe. They've been on my feed for like 3, 4 days, and it's interesting. The thing that they have done basically is an automation-ish based on what is played. So the song is playing live, and based on the drum pad that they are tapping on, a specific visual is happening behind them so that it's synchronized and working. What you want is that instead of having like drum pad, it's hand gestures, which is kind of the same thing. Kind of. But obviously, I'm looking for something, therefore I can't find it. You know, that's the usual. Um, where's this? Oh, damn. My feed right now is just perfume, dogs, ass, obviously. This one is interesting, but I don't think that's your. Yeah, that's not. That's not it. Um, that's it. No. Ah, goddamn. I feel like it was not before that. Obviously, I'm looking for something. I can't find it. Um, yeah, that makes no sense. That's not. It's not that old. At least it shouldn't be. Um, that makes no sense. I can't find it. Um, this one is an interesting one, I guess. Even though it's like this is a representation of the thing, and it's a visual representation of the thing, but it's not exactly what you're looking for, right? So based on what you said, you want something that is like a conductor of the visual elements, and basically what I understand is if you had your hands like this in front of the camera, it would be a green background. If you did this, it would be a pink background. If you did this, it would be a 3D environment, and so on. Like different hand gestures, and then combined with different things or different formatting, because you can know in which uh, on which side things are. So I recognize that I had my hand in the wrong space. Anyways, that is basically what you want, right? I don't think Framer um, would like work for this. I'm going to be honest. I feel like this is going to be a bit more complex than this. In order to make the user understand the hand gestures option, I would have a tutorial show the user exactly what they can do, which means on the first opening, there is just two hands in front of the screen in a, the outline, blue outline, regular thing. And then from there, it says, like, this is your kick drum, this is your whatever, this is something else. And if you tap it with your thumb, it does the thing, right? So you have like a video that presents this. Or, right, you just show the pinch, you show open, pinch, and then you just say, this is kick drum. This is bass. This is something else. This is something else. Like that's the thing that you could present as an overlay before it starts. But um, yeah, you already have a prototype in Framer. Damn, that's crazy. Congrats. Um, but I would say that's the thing. Like you wouldn't be really able to give the user anything else other than a visual tutorial because it's going to be a visual app. So you want them to understand what they need to do and how they can do it, basically by simply showing, um, oh yeah, we can do that. Um, like we have this, and therefore this is how it works. Like that's the only option you have to make sure that people understand. Other than that, you're kind of limited to potentially get something like a text-based explanation, but that makes no sense to me. Again, a text-based interface would have a text-based tutorial. A hand gesture-based interface would have a hand gesture-based tutorial, so that I know that if I do this, it's the kick drum. Like that's the type of thing that I kind of need to have in order to understand. I feel like we're supposed to see things soon-ish. Maybe, maybe not, probably not. So going back to your last question and my first answer as a mix, uh, being going into Leap Motion and checking out how they have done their tutorials would help. Um, there is like something that is also worth not worth 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 noting. God damn. That is, if the user wanted to buy a Leap Motion, they would go through the Leap Motion website, and there is a very high probability for them to know what the Leap Motion thing is doing. So, with that in mind, the fact that they kind of know, and they went through the website to check and to like buy the thing, they have an expectation of what could happen. So, for you to teach the user what could happen, you can have basically what you have here. Like the fact that at the top you have this thing that showcase how a playlist could be done, right? It's gonna be like YouTube video thing on top of the Canva. People kind of understand by default, by the fact that they have been here and they have kind of scrolled, that, oh, we have the videos on the Canva and we can just link them together. I get that. Cool. So if in your website, in your landing page, you have something that showcase this is how you do a kick drum, this is how you do a snare, this is how you do something else, the user would have like a bit of a slight understanding. Not saying that it would be like the best understanding, but it would be a slight understanding for sure. Other than that, about it. Like you won't get away the hands interface implies hands tutorial. That's the thing. If you take a look at like a video game, the tutorial section is 100% something that is given to you through the lens of you are playing the game, and not you are not playing the game and this is how the game works, but you can't know it, you don't know. So that is how you teach the user things, right? It's gonna be the easiest option to go through the basics of video games tutorials and go through that and just say, well, this is my this is my this is how it works. You can take a look at the Oculus first generation tutorials. These are going to be really useful. We had like a lot of discussion in my agency when it came out the first time, and we had these things in front of us for the first time. These ones were not the first gen, but we had these the VR like the VR tutorials for the first gen. And so these things, even though there is like nunchucks and controllers, some of them in the first yeah, these things. These specific things that were showcased in in the tutorials thing, where you could understand really simply, oh, this is how things work. So if you want to do something, it's going to be a pinch. It's going to be a different way of holding your hands, doing something with your thumb on top of some other stuff to navigate and so on. So it implies a lot of things, again, based on the Oculus, the fact that it has cameras to capture your hands, which means that you have like a different angle and a different understanding of what is feasible. Bit like this is what we had. This is the thing that we did in. You might see some of the thing that we did in the past, by the way. Like that's the type of shit that we used to do. Making sure that you have the hand tracking and you understand how it works and so on. So these tutorials are going to help for you to make the user understand what they can do and how they can do things simply by showing this is how the hand tracking is working. Like, place your hand in the view. That's the first thing. And then you show them these skeleton things for the hands. And then you add another text that say pinch your index finger and your thumb. And it does a snare stuff. And you're like, okay, so you learned how to do the snares. By default, the user might just do, oh, okay, so what's these do pretty quickly just to see. And therefore you have like the other sounds that come up. That's the thing that is like sound related. If it's just visual, but then it's just visual. But yeah, like that's the that is going to be the easiest thing to do. Easiest. But yeah, that's the easiest thing. That's the tutorial that I had in mind. These things. Oculus Quests, first gen, second gen, when we started to have um like hand gestures, and this is lip motion, so that's the tutorial of lip motion. Yeah, that's that's how you understand and you make sure that the people know how things can be done. That's some of the first rendering. I remember. I remember these things. God dang. Again, some of the tech that I worked with in 2012 is still not there. So, eh, it's probably not going to be here, or it's not as popular as it should be. Um, but just have this. Put that into the first view. Like that's it. Just show hands. Done. People understand that it's going to be hand related. It's going to be that easy. The thing that is good, obviously thinking out loud. The desk view on Apple could give you something really cool with not necessitating not requiring the user to have their hands up all the time, essentially having them on the desk with desk view so that they could control something by touching flat surfaces on the desk rather than the air. That could be an interesting thing. But, you know, more stuff, easy stuff, potential stuff. But, other than that, I don't think there is anything else that could be helping the user to know what they can do, how they can do it, why they can do it. I'm still looking for the thing on Twitter, but we talked about it. I'm sure we saw it on stream at some point, just because it was so good. But right now, obviously, I can't find them. God damn. I could find them. I didn't. That's not what I wanted. Hmm. Yeah, it's been way longer than that. I guess if I find it again, I will send it to you, but like, I have doubts. Just because I just saw an announcement that happened like 3 weeks ago, and I know it was way before that. So it's probably not gonna happen. Probably not gonna happen. I wish I shared it on Discord, to be honest, because I think yeah, there is things about K-pop Demon Hunter. K-pop Demon Hunter is too recent compared to the thing that I'm referencing. That's not that's not it. That is not it. I'll take a deeper look. I will take a deeper look for sure. For sure. However, sadly, I feel like I'm gonna need to raid someone. I know it was a very, very short stream, but based on the fact that my internet is not really cooperating today and that I am hurting at that instant, I am gonna send you to someone that is kind of uh light on the activities, and Hillfort is live. So yes, Hillfort is gonna be a good idea. Yes. Agreed. Agreed. For that stream, I know I'm gonna see if I can fix StreamYard on the PC, but also the internet connection things, because that makes absolutely no sense to me that it's breaking for most of you in terms of watching the stream. So that's really bad. And yeah, tomorrow I have my scan as always. So not as always, but like I have my scan tomorrow, so I will give you some updates on Friday. You know, if I die next month. Yes, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Or if it's like further down the road, and we'll see about that. But yeah, as always, the short VOD is gonna be on YouTube. You know, that happens. And then if you want to ask question when I'm not live, join the Discord. That would be highly appreciated. If you want to learn Japanese, Can is available, and if you want to give me some money, the UI kit is really good as well. Nonetheless, I don't think we've had like a lot of things happen in here for now. But yeah. Yeah. I have medicine to take and rest to do. So that is what's happening. That is what happening. Um, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. As always, take care of yourself, eat something, drink something, be kind to each other, and I'll see you all on Friday. Bye.